So I built up a little bit of an emergency fund and bought a van, bought all my tools and left that place and started my company. I believed in myself enough that I went all in, and it was the best thing I've ever done because we're only 3 years in business and we're already cruising.
This episode is brought to you by 10x Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10x Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rutkowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rutkowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork, it's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rutkowskilawfirm.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Bible podcast. Today, we're going to be covering a lot of key topics, the challenges, the pain points, growth, expansion, and many more. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it.
Really appreciate your time. Thanks for hopping on a call with me.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself, about what you're doing, how you got into it. Just give me a little bit of background.
Yeah. So I've always been into cars. It's been
Yeah.
I was obsessed with cars as a kid. And then my first job, I was doing detailing. Second job was doing like basic auto mechanics, kind of got trained up by a guy. And then that fell through with the shop that I was working at, and I switched over to a performance shop. I got the dream job at like 18 years old and was working on like performance automotive stuff. We had a dyno, which is basically a machine that measures how much horsepower and torque your
Mhm.
vehicle puts down. And my boss just tuned cars and I would fix them and get them ready for the dyno. And that was awesome, dude. And we blew that company up. I worked for him for 2 or 3 years, and then he hired a manager and just kind of fell apart. So I left, did a couple other things, went back to detailing, went back to regular mechanics, just couldn't handle, the boring mundane, repairs. So eventually I got a job doing structural steel fabrication, and I did that for about 4 years, but it just wasn't where my passion was. I really felt like I kind of lost myself a little bit in that time where I wasn't doing what I was put on this earth to do, was work on cars. And I hit a tree snowboarding, blew out my legs, couldn't do the structural steel fabrication anymore. So I went to my buddy's shop. He had a glass shop, and I was like, oh, this will just be a temporary thing, selling rock chips and windshield replacements on a service drive. And pretty shortly after he hired me, he had some things come up, and basically he handed me the keys to his glass shop because he had to go out of town for a couple of weeks or whatever, and I was just killing it selling rock chips and windshields, and I had already learned how to do it. So he was training me how to do quotes and stuff, and man, I just nailed it.
Yeah.
He eventually got to the point where he wanted to downsize, so he let everyone go, and he's just a one-man band. And I went to a huge company doing auto glass, and they were like, hey, 10 to 15 replacements a day isn't enough. You need to amp them numbers up. I mean,
That's a lot. I feel
yeah,
like.
it was crazy. She didn't care about quality, didn't care about burnout of I remember the hottest day on record here in Salt Lake. We had 107-degree weather, and I had 20 jobs on my schedule. Yeah, and I made a bunch of money in a short amount of time, but I mean, I think my lowest hours I had worked was 41 hours my first week there, and I started on a Tuesday.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, we were working like 60 plus hours pretty much every week.
Yeah.
And so I built up a little bit of, an emergency fund and bought a van, bought all my tools and left that place and started my company with a $5,000 van and the tools I had acquired over the years. I mean, I believed in myself enough that I went all in, and it was the best thing I've ever done because now we're here 3 years down. I mean, we're only 3 years in business and we're already, cruising. And I haven't had any help. I haven't really dumped a whole lot of money into it. So it's growing organically at a very healthy rate, I feel like.
Great. Sounds good. Sounds like you guys are, sounds like low overhead.
Mhm.
You said you're working on a minimal basis. I mean, how many employees do you have?
So I have 2 employees right now. I hired my first employee, January of 2025.
Mhm.
Aiden, he was a guy that worked with me at the other guy's glass shop, and I knew I wanted him to work for me, and he had posted something on Facebook saying that he was getting sick of his job where he was at and he was looking. So I called him and I said, "Hey man, I'd really love to have you on my team. Like I can't guarantee right now 40 hours every day or every week just
Yeah.
because we were, still in winter.
Yeah.
January. Here's still winter. So I told him, but over summer we'll pick up and I'll have you, 40 hours every week. And that's just how it happened. I got him trained up to do jobs on his own and he was out doing jobs all summer last summer, getting 40 hours a week. And yeah, this year I hired my little brother. He just turned 18. So
Nice.
I hired him to do I don't know if you've seen any of my videos. I think that's how Andrew found me.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I post a video every single day on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I've just been sharing that and it's been good.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, side note, outside of what you do, like social media can be a full-time job. Takes a lot more work than you actually think.
Oh yeah.
But that's crazy. Good for you guys. So it actually is. I never thought about it. Is autoglass a seasonal job pretty much? Is it you guys? I mean, slow months during the winter, I'm assuming, and then, but of course, spring, summer, fall ramp up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not necessarily too much of a seasonal job. Like you can do it all year round.
Yeah.
You just in the winter, you got to keep the glue warm and you can't work on rainy or snowy days,
Yeah.
but it definitely slows down. And I've noticed a big thing that I feel like causes the slowdown in the winter is, people would rather buy Christmas presents for their kids than a windshield for their car.
Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
I get it all the time where I get a call and someone will say, "Oh yeah, I'm just getting quotes. Well, I'll probably get it done in spring and I'll save up over winter or whatever." And it does. It comes, back around, 3 or 4 months later, I get calls like right now we're getting a ton of calls from people that had called me 3 months ago
Yeah.
getting
Yeah. Yeah.
and we're
Okay.
we're
Cool.
finally getting them on the schedule to get them done.
Nice. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely just planting those seeds the slow times and trying to drive a business. Yeah, over the last 3 years, tell me a little bit some of the pain points you've encountered, some of the hardships, anything you want to take back. I mean, every small business goes through something. Do you have any of those?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Hardships that I'd like to take back. Honestly, I wouldn't like to take back anything. I mean, we've had a couple of warranties here and there, but I mean, we're human. We make
Yeah.
mistakes,
Yeah.
that's just how it is. And I don't really, yeah, I don't feel like I think if anything, I would like to go harder, you know?
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's just like this burning fire inside to just like get a business loan and take this thing to the next level. Get a business
Mhm.
loan, get a shop, hire a couple more guys, like and especially with where I'm at now, where like with the social media, I've just changed my marketing company and my phone just will not stop ringing. And I'm still out having to do jobs. And I had 8 calls in 1 hour the other day and I was on a job. I couldn't get anything done. I just kept answering the phone and I'm standing there in this guy's driveway with his windshield out of his truck. And I told him I'd be about an hour. And I'm like, dude, I just can't get anything done.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if anything, take anything back or do anything different, I think maybe hiring someone earlier because I did have a pretty good influx of it seems like every spring, it pops off, and then I just don't have enough time to handle all the calls coming in, all the leads coming in.
Uh-huh.
So having another person earlier on would have been, a big bonus for me to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at Forgemark Wealth. If you're a high income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. Forgemark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by ExitWise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what ExitWise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it.
Like a admin or an assistant or some sort of a receptionist, to kind of handle all that, work with your scheduling, that type of stuff. Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's really common because for being a, entrepreneur, small business, even large business too, they have to go in, they do everything, take the calls, schedule, go on site, do all that. But as you grow, you start to learn, divvy all that out, hire the right people to train them and keep things moving efficiently. But yeah, definitely 5 years, 5 years from now, like where do you guys see yourself? You guys want to expand? You want to have more fleet? You want to have, a warehouse, just like you said? Maybe that'll help during the slow times. Yeah, bring a car down to the warehouse. We can do it indoors, that type of stuff versus doing it in someone's driveway.
Yeah. Yeah. So in the next 5 years, I'd like to have another 3 or 4 guys out installing, have 1 or 2 people just answering calls and scheduling jobs and ordering parts, handling that whole thing. Get a shop to run out of. Most people don't want to have their windshield replaced in a shop. They don't want to come down and sit for an hour, whatever. But I
Or
would
would.
like to have a shop for the aspect of preparing the jobs the day before, because if I could get all of the glass for the next day ready, for the techs to just show up to the shop, pick it all up, and then go,
Mhm.
rather than going to each glass distributor, picking up the glass, and then taking off for the day.
Yeah.
That eats up hours in the morning sometimes, especially like one of our glass distributors especially when they're busy, they are so slow. You can spend an hour there to get your parts.
Right. Right.
So that eats up a ton of time, and then you're running behind the whole day and playing catch up. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I completely understand. I mean, that's kind of the same with, like roofing companies too. They need to go to the distribution center and grab something. And if there's a line, there's other 5 or 6 roofers in front of you or people who ever need parts, you just got to wait in line and
Hmm.
just kind of wait your turn. So yeah, same concept, completely understand. But yeah, if you can source all that and bring it to a central location where you guys, have access to it, go in and out and then take off and then maybe make a trip to the distribution center every once in a while, like once a week, once every other week or something. Yeah, that would definitely make things a lot more efficient for sure.
Yeah, and my glass distributors actually deliver to shops. So the day before, you could just go through and order all your parts for the next day and then have them all delivered to the shop.
Yeah.
You had someone in there like that's why I'm saying if I had 2 people to answer phones and handle ordering parts and inventory type of deal and scheduling,
Yeah.
they can work hand in hand, whichever one shows more of a strength of inventory management, ordering, and scheduling. We'll have that person kind of handle that, and then a couple phone calls a day if it overflows the person that's really good at like selling the job.
Right. 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 Yeah, I get it. So it sounds like you really just need some help with the whole management, scheduling, taking the calls, following up with customers, blah, 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 blah. Really the office work, right? Because it sounds like that's really on you.
Yeah, no, that's all on me. And For now, I think that that's the role that I'm going to take on. Once I do have plans to hire another technician this year. I've got to get my original van that I told you I bought for $5,000.
Yeah.
It's got 300,000 miles on it and needs some major engine maintenance. It's got a little misfire. I think it's got a collapsed lifter. So I'm going to have one of my accounts take it and take the motor out of it, rebuild it and put it back in there so we can
Yeah.
get that thing back on the road. And then I'll hire someone to put that van back to work. And then I will be solely taking phone calls, doing the hard jobs, anything that they can't figure out will be on me.
Yeah.
And then just scheduling them to do the majority of the work.
Sure.
And then eventually, like I say, I'll try and replace myself in that role. That way I can just focus mainly on selling accounts and networking and bringing more business to my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then once I get that kind of all rolling, say in 5 years, like I say, if I have 4 or 5 guys out installing, 2 people in the shop, kind of answering phones, managing all of that. My next goal would be to hire someone to replace me in the sales role of it. And then I kind of want to move down to St. George and start another location down there and just kind of grow, take over that area and do it all
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely understand. Speaking of the second location and, purchasing, I guess, capital expanding, how are you guys going? How are you going about that? Are you using just cash flow from the business? Do you have a line of credit, loans? Talk to me a little bit about
Yeah, right now we just do everything gets paid on a credit card and then we just use cash flow from the business to pay that off every month.
that. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I definitely I know that I should have done a business loan earlier to grow the company, but I'm also stay small enough, long enough, you'll be big enough soon enough.
Yeah.
Try and keep that mindset, I have a huge network. We have a ton of business coming in and a lot of people trying to work with me just because they see that we're putting out, videos. They see that we're taking care of these bigger customers. Like I have one account that does about $100,000 in business with me a year.
Wow.
And I have some really good accounts, and we have one account that does like Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all high-end sports cars, and we handle all of their stuff. So it's like the exposure from being associated with these people that do a lot of business or really unique business
Yeah.
gives us that edge for people to want to work with us.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So if you can find that niche, that a whole lot of people are not doing, and you get good at it, yeah, definitely people will definitely come to you and be like, oh, I got a guy for that, that type of thing. Trey, appreciate your time. Anything you want to add before we hop off? Where can they find you?
You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram, Facebook. It's just Authentic Auto Glass. I'd love for anyone to follow me and follow my journey because this is just the beginning. I've only been posting videos for probably 6 months now, and I've grown my page to 500 followers on Facebook. YouTube and Instagram is pretty low, but TikTok and Facebook has been really growing at a pretty decent rate,
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. No, good for you. Just like you said, grow slow and then just make it lean and mean. When you're ready to take that next step, you'll know how to proceed. Sorry, to the next level because you'll have your base, and then you're like, okay,
Yeah.
we can take that next step now. If that doesn't work, just come back down to your base. Yeah. Okay, we'll go over here. But anyways, yeah, Trey, appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Collar Business Advisors. If you're running an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, or landscaping, or any other type of home service business and wondering where all the money is going despite growing your revenue, you need to talk to Paul Maskill. Paul has scaled and sold multiple blue collar businesses and now helps business owners improve cash flow, profitability, and financial clarity through outsourced CFO services. His clients gain a better understanding of their numbers, build predictable profits, and create a business that supports the life they actually want. One of the things I appreciate most about Paul is he's not just a finance guy. He's been in the trenches as an owner. He understands the challenges of running blue collar businesses because he's done it himself. If you're doing a few $1,000,000 a year in revenue and want to stop guessing at your numbers and start building real wealth, head over to bluecollaradvisors.com. That's thebluecollaradvisors.com and schedule a discovery call with Paul and his team. Blue Collar Business Advisors, helping blue collar business owners build financially healthy companies and achieve permanent profitability. This episode is brought to you by Corberry Digital. If you own an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, or home service business and you're tired of wondering where your next lead is coming from, you need to check out Corberry Digital. Corberry specializes exclusively in helping home service companies dominate their local markets through SEO, Google Ads, local service ads, websites, content marketing, and lead generation systems that actually produce a measurable ROI. Their team doesn't just focus on clicks and impressions, they help contractors lower customer acquisition costs, increase qualified leads, and build a marketing engine that scales. What I like about Corberry is they understand the blue collar space. They aren't trying to be everything to everyone. Their entire focus is helping trades businesses win in their backyard and generate more profitable jobs. If you're looking to grow your business, improve your online visibility, and build a marketing system that works, visit Corberry.com and schedule a strategy session with their team. That's Corberry.com. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast.
Hey, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Builders Bible podcast. If you have any questions or if you want to be on an episode, reach out anytime. Alex at kings-coaching.co. Talk to you guys soon.